We're fucking finally at the light that's end of the tunnel. Blind force of the storm is fucking finally over, and I still cannot believe that I am finally making this video. That's quite a lot of finally right there. So anyway, we are here. Assassin's Creed is back. We are hyped, and history is repeating itself. It seems like the magnet that's attracting the ground towards it. Do you think what's more important, the quality of the animation, the quality of the parkour, or the place we are essentially doing the parkour in? Like back then when initially the original game came out in 2013, the GTA 5 came out along with one of the best games in one of the most long-running franchises ever. And just imagine that fact. But anyway, Assassin's Creed is back, GTA 6 is also coming out this year, I am also back, and trust me, the next videos are already written, they will be recorded soon. They basically advertised the game as gaming's worst kept secret. That list owned up to the fact that the game got revealed way before it was supposed to by the statue makers nonetheless.
Assassin's Creed fans out there, you should be aware that there is something going on with Edward.
And also by the core voice of Edward.
Have you beaten the game?
I have a while ago. It's been a minute, but
Well, you might have to beat it again.
this is true.
Man, the initial scenes of Caribbean, the West Indies, the Havana, the Kingston, along with NASA, everything looked fucking incredible. Where we are shown the jackdaw for the first time. Man, the draw distances, the amount of foliage that has been improved, the amount of details present in the skybox, the volumetric clouds nonetheless, the advancement that has been done during the upgrade of Anvil development of Assassin's Creed Shadows nonetheless. The game lacked a viable story, the game lacked viable cutscenes, the game lacked mocap cutscenes nonetheless, the game lacked facial capture, the game lacked so many things. The one thing the game didn't lack is the visual fidelity. How beautiful the world could look under the guidance of the new Ubisoft that we know. It lacked art direction, but it didn't lack visual fidelity. It's nice to see one of the most beloved games presented by Ubisoft ever being rendered in the new and improved Anvil engine. It looks fucking incredible nonetheless. The destruction physics shown while showing the first shot of the naval battle, which we are going to be doing quite a lot throughout the game. If you have played the original game, you should know that. And another thing before I forget to mention them, the amount of density in terms of population, in terms of the foliage, in terms of the wildlife, all of that contributes to create an immaculate atmosphere that like realizes the 1600s or 1500s West Indies pirate culture, all of that. Like in this shot where Edward is perched upon a tomb of some kind. It's a place where we basically used to synchronize with the initial area. You have to go up to a vantage point, press a singular button that essentially gives you all the things you need to be doing to clear out that area. So basically the game turns into a checklist fulfilling simulator. You can say checklist simulator, whatever the way floats your boat. Like one thing that got improved in during the development of Assassin's Creed Shadows was that they expanded upon the mechanic of synchronization. There, when you went up to a vantage point, you had to manually look at things and select which things you wanted to be marked on the map. And I'm really glad that they're bringing it back with the remake of Black Flag. I'm really glad in the big 2026 we no longer are having to go through a loading screen to transition from ship gameplay to field gameplay. No Starfield was harmed during the video. And Todd Howard, we'll go there. We'll go there someday.
To have 16 times the detail. Who's laughing now?
Another major thing that I noticed during this showcase was the new and improved level design. Because contrary to popular belief, don't cancel me for this, I didn't like the Kenway Saga parkour. There, I said it. Like parkour peaked in Assassin's Creed 2, and to some extent Assassin's Creed Revolution, but I didn't like how the game. I can't say I didn't like how the game looked, but the visual style didn't jive with me. It looked beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it looked beautiful. It was just not my cup of tea. I liked how Assassin's Creed 1 looked. I really liked how Assassin's Creed 2 basically closed the distance between our oil painting and 3D graphics. Like beautiful showcase of how our oil painting, our moving oil painting could look in imagination. Like insane art direction. I still cannot fathom that they released that game in the year that it released in. An insane work. Like how? I think this light has ran out of juice. And now for this new and improved version of Black Flag, we are borrowing the system from Assassin's Creed Shadows that we as a community developed. We as a community evolved the system to a point where it is comparable to the version that we had 2 decades back with Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2. I still cannot believe that we as a community achieved that. Whenever they talk about parkour now, they mention the fan-stated terms like side eject, back ejects, height gaining side ejects, like non-standing objects, standing objects, like those are the terms community made set in stone. Do you think what's more important, the quality of the animation, the quality of the parkour, or the place we are essentially doing the parkour in? Personally speaking, the animation can be subpar, but the level design, the place where we are essentially doing the parkour in, if that location is made while keeping in mind the parkour system, the animations that are going to be paired with the level design, like that essentially creates a far superior of a system than having a subpar parkour jungle of a level design and then reiterating, re-improving upon the previously set subpar parkour system. I hope you're getting where I'm going with this. Like, let's take Shadows as an example. There is no elevated high ground there in Shadows. Like, there are high grounds. Don't get me wrong, there are high grounds, there are big castles that are there where you can do parkours, but like, let's take an example, like cities from Italy. There are elevations, there are converging elevations, there are several buildings that accompany together to create a beautiful parkour jungle where we can jump from beam to beam, where we can go to side eject from buildings to buildings. Basically, the entirety is created with harmony that harmonizes with the essential parkour system, one of the core pillars of the Assassin's Creed, the name of the franchise nonetheless. The thing we forgot while transitioning from Syndicate, not exactly transitioning from Syndicate, the parkour system was completely thrown out of the window when transitioning from Unity to Syndicate. Basically, you handed us a fucking glorified grappling gun that couldn't accomplish the thing the game was advertised with. The game was advertised with Jacob doing a mid-fall grappling hook move to catch himself off falling bridge. You can't literally do that in game. So it's essentially an artifact of false advertising. So that's how far below Assassin's Creed had gone. And games, essentially the games that set the franchise in stone as one of the staples of gaming, and not following through your own principles, classic Ubisoft. Anyway, we are glad that we're finally fucking at a point where we as a community can be hyped for Assassin's Creed finally. Like previously, like it was running on false hope, man. It was just running on false hope. In terms of Mirage, we had the initial one. We had very terrible parkour design, but we had the parkour jungle. We had the much desired, somewhat reprised version of what we had with Jerusalem of Assassin's Creed 1. Basically, Assassin's Creed 1 was created with parkour in mind. Like, it was one of the core tenets. Of course, it was the first one to start it all. So Assassin's Creed Mirage gave me that vibe that we are going back to the classics, and it was advertised in that way that we are going to be going back to the classics. The parkour system was subpar. It was borrowed from one of the, if not the worst system created in the human history, in the history of Assassin's Creed. Like Valhalla, a fucking glorified Viking game where you are playing as a brute who is not supposed to do parkour, who is not supposed to jump from building to building, who is not supposed to do tightrope walking. In what sense, in what gameplay sense, in what thematic sense does parkour has a place in the fantasy of being a Viking? Vikings used to plunder, not jump from roof to roof, not do assassinations. was not part of some secret cult or that we used to give freedom in society, man. What the anyway, let's take the transition from Unity to Syndicate to Origins to Odyssey to Valhalla as an example. Like, we were moving 2 steps forward in a certain in certain aspects, and then in the next game we are moving 3 steps backwards in all the other aspects. Like, speaking of which, the cutscenes and the audio design of the cutscenes, man, holy shit! It was next level bad, and it was just to say the very least, it was next level bad. When looking at the cutscenes presented in Assassin's Creed Black Flag Racing Showcase, man, I'm so glad that we are fucking coming back to the motion captured cutscenes, man. I was so worried for that. That was one of my prime concerns, that we were going to go back to basically keyframe cutscenes, the procedural cutscenes that have been there in the franchise for the last half a decade, more than half a decade, like 6 to 7 years. Nothing good can come from this. So I'm really glad that we are going back to where it all started, the fucking motion captured cutscene. Like, they elevate a mediocre story in games to such a degree. It makes the stories memorable, makes the stories attach with you, makes the stories change the way you think about your ideals. Playing through Assassin's Creed 2 and watching the voice actor of Ezio deliver such a magnificent performance after the first assassination that Ezio does, and the courtyard scene where the assassination essentially happens, the speech that he delivers, man, I still get shivers, man. I still get shivers thinking about it. An insane word.
The Auditori are not dead! I'm still here! Me! Ezio! Ezio Auditore!
That cannot be achieved without having somebody there to motion capture the entire scene. Like, another prime example in recent years, like Assassin's Creed Mirage could have told a very impactful, very beautiful written story, but alas, the cutscenes were not there. The cutscenes that were there were subpar. The lighting was very mediocre. It was done very poorly. And the twist that it delivered, man, you never properly spent any substantial time in cutscenes, substantial time building the core twist. Because of another fundamental thing, the way the gameplays basically work. It's an open-ended game. You can go wherever and whenever you please. You can do whichever missions you wanna do first. There is no core narrative flow that used to be there up until the point like Origins came to be. Like, even Origins had a thematic flow, core story, like a starting point, a middle point, an end point. Like, after Origins, things were thrown out the window. There is no chronology. You can do whatever you please whenever you want to. Like, things were open-ended. Things were left to the will of the player. So they couldn't necessarily tell a very, very good story. I haven't played the second iteration of Ghost of Tsushima, basically Ghost of Yote, what I'm talking about. Like, they also tried to do something like that. I don't know how it turned out, and I don't think I'll be able to play the game as it's like, as per the records, never coming to PC, but we all know down the line it is. Hopefully. I'm not bracing for it, I'm not holding my breath for it, because hopefully we will. Okay, let's take the recent DLC that came out for Mirage as an example. Man, for Mirage, what was the DLC's name again? Valley of the Memory, I think.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so basically Valley of the Memory. I didn't play through the original game, I didn't play through the DLC. I saw somebody else, probably Brad, I think, play through the section. I saw some portions of it, not in its entirety, but the way the DLC fucking ends, the core thematics of the bond between a father and a son. I am currently reading through Aparajito done by Vibhuti Bhushan, man, comparable to that to me. Like, it made me borderline tear up, and I normally don't.
Tell him that. If you see him. I will tell him. So, you have a smile after all.
for me to feel something coming out of a franchise that was so far gone from its core identity. That's how much it means to me to have motion captured cutscenes there to tell a viable story. And the story also has to be good, man. Just having motion captured cutscenes doesn't do the job. The writing has to be there, the voice acting has to be there, the audio capturing has to be there. The motion capture just ties the whole thing together. Like it takes the entire thing to the 11th degree. Don't get me wrong, like some parts of Black Flag were genuinely dated and it needed the uplift. But the art direction, man, the art direction of the original game, it was magnificently done. I'm again really glad we are not moving like 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards all over again. Now also social stealth is back. I'm so glad that another one of the core tenets is coming back. The original game also had that waved into core parts of the story, and all the parkour improvements done by the community for the shadows are also coming back. And people said that the parkour looked somewhat sluggish. There were some mismatch in the in-betweeners while transitioning from beam to beam, while doing the side ejects, back ejects. Those things have already been polished. I'm so glad that we are getting a game that is catering to the community demands, and it's not a glorified RPG. We have come to a point where we can say that we are getting a Ubisoft game that looks that it's from the year that it's coming in. It's from the current gen without having any caveats. The underwater sections looked too bright, like a wrong shade of blue to me, but in the later gameplay reveals, they got polished. Like, I'm really glad that they're listening to the community. And also some parts of the animations looked sluggish, some parts of the animation looked unpolished, like they were rough around the edges. But in the later gameplay snippets that they revealed, things are starting to get really polished. And I think that the new leadership is going to take care of the rest, because I have faith in the original creative director who is at the helm of the franchise. Like, much respect to the man, the myth, the legend, John Gunnar. Like, really a big fan of your work. Another major thing, the combat system. I'm really liking the way they are evolving the combat system in the new Black Flag, because taking from Witcher was never a good idea in my opinion. Like, Witcher had a very good story, Witcher had a very good RPG system in which you could shape the story, in which you could shape how the story is going to end, which ending you are going to get, how the characters are going to evolve with your choices. Like, your choices would play a substantial impact in what story you experience. Like, in terms of that, the game was good. The game was very good in telling a story that would last an impact, but the game really lacked a proper combat system that was satisfying to play. For me, just for me. And also, CD Projekt Red, please fix your fucking game. The game crashes 11 times in a singular hour for me. I have the recommended specs. I am not turning on ray tracing. Just fucking fix your game, please. I wanna finish the game. And the way the combat has been evolved, the thing we were talking about initially. So the game was initially rock paper scissors based. So basically there were 3 separate things you could do in combat. You could either attack, you could either do a counter, and then do the chain killing. In between, you had some gadgets that you could use to do the same exact things, to look stylish. The game had no substantial differentiating factor that made the core gameplay feel different depending on which gear you were using. Like, the game had very cool looking swords, the game had very cool looking guns, different kinds of guns, hatchets, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of pirate stuff. They didn't substantially change anything about the core gameplay, other than the fact that you were going to be given different looking finishers, different sets of finishers. And don't get me wrong, the finishers looked cool as fuck. Nobody can doubt on that fact. But having combat system that never challenges you, never presents you any form of challenge, never makes you think while playing the game. You could single-handedly take on an entire battalion and come out unscathed without a single touch on your face, on your body, like not a single hit. Like you could no hit run an entire fucking battalion. 1v100, may I say. And what combat system is satisfying when it's that easy? And it looked cool, don't get me wrong again, it looked cool, but the combat, it's not good enough to carry a franchise forward. But about the naval combat, we'll get on that. We will finish with that. Now the enemy AI is getting sharper. You cannot use the same takedown twice on a singular group. Like enemies are going to take notice of how you took down the previous opponent, and they're going to play around that. They're going to employ different strategies so that you cannot use the same tactic twice to take them out again and again. You will have to use different weapons, you will have to use different gadgets to take entire group down. So chain takedowns are there when you pull off a perfect parry. I don't know about the parry timings and the parry window that the game will be giving you. Also, the light effects kind of look too over exaggerated. It looked good in Sekiro because of the audio design, of course, because of actual collision between swords, man. And also the game had beautiful art direction. And in terms of the newer one, the game has art direction, but comparing it to the original game, man, there you can compare both of them together, but original game had insane art direction. It looked more gritty, more brutal, more raw and real. The newer one looks more fantasized, more vibrant, more beautiful, like overall more 2026. That's the only way I can describe it. It looks more brighter, also more jolly, not as gritty, not as dark, not doesn't look like a tale of tragedy, the game that it is. Like the core art direction reflected the core tale of the story better in the original than in this one. So we know the game will be getting pretty dark by the end, if you have played the game. Speaking of the expansions, really glad that the mate shields are coming back. The animations look rough around the edges, but I think the UI animations, the subtle jitteriness of the animations will get solved by the time the game releases. Cause Shadows at least proved that Ubisoft still has the fire under the belt. And in the grand scheme of things, the combat animations look beautiful. People complained about the overly present the attack indicators, the parry light sparks. They already said that they're looking into that and toning it down for the final release. I'm really glad again that they're listening to the community. How ridiculous it is that they had to have their back against the wall to start listening to the core player base they are supposed to serve for the company to stay afloat, man. It's a matter of fucking common sense, man. Anyway, we are glad that we are at that point where we are getting what we deserve. We are getting what we have been asking for such a long ass time. And the tree parkour, the back ejects and the side ejects, the height gaining ejects, the free jumps, the beam to beam jumps, from non-standing object to standing object jumps, from ledge jumps, all forms of jumps, all forms of parkour look very beautiful, look straight, taken out of the improved parkour system of Shadows and some parts of Mirage, like best of both worlds basically. One gripe I had for the last couple of games, that in terms of when we are doing the double assassinations, the camera basically has a hard cut to where there is a standing camera that is not following our movement, that is just there, hard cuts into that camera showing us doing the double assassination. There is no like variations in that. Like in the initial games, there were high profile double assassinations with the double cutlasses, double hidden blades, and I am not too much hung up on the removal of the hidden blade combat being removed. Editor paradox here. Apparently there is no unarmed combat and you cannot disarm enemies and use their weapons to finish them off. I mean, what the fuck, man? It looked kinda odd to me. Like, don't cancel me. It's cool as fuck, but it looked odd to me that the guy that was never trained to fight with hidden blades gets to fight with the hidden blade the best out of everybody in the franchise. Like, Ezio was trained to fight with the hidden blades. Like 1v100. We have all seen the cutscene. the initial CGI cutscene of Revolution, but he was never trained to do that. Like, he picked it up on the fly, but doing that as efficiently as he does, like, it never made sense to into the story. Like, it will be a really pleasant surprise if we eventually down the line, when he comes to the terms with with working as a assassin, then we finally get to do the hidden blade combat moment to moment. Like, that will be a fun addition to the core game. And also the moving double assassinations, there were high profile assassinations would let you have the keep the momentum while doing a high profile assassination, or from walking position. Like, the camera would never do a hard cut. Like, that's one of the very things I want them to fix. And how hard is it to fix this simple thing? It shouldn't be that hard. Like, I have done some, like, not exactly game design in my days, but I've done some coding in my days. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. How intricate it is to do it in Anvil Engine. Like, I would really like to talk with the developer. I would really like to learn from them. Like, why is it not there that the camera can follow double assassination in the normal way? The way the previous games used to do it, the way Ezio used to do it, the way Arno used to do it, the way Jacob used to do it. Minor things that are coming back that I'm really glad. Finally, in big 2026, there should not be an achievement to have anytime crouch button, like a dedicated fucking crouch button. Like, even Fortnite has that, so having that in Assassin's Creed game should not be worthy of praise. But we're glad that we have that in Assassin's Creed Black Flag's remake. Also, the core mechanic of the shadows, the one thing the game was advertised heavily with, the light and shadow mechanics, where your visibility you have a separate visibility meter that showcases how much you are visible, even if you are in the close proximity of somebody. If you are under a proper shadow, you are borderline invisible. It basically works like social stealth. Like, let me show you. If I am there, I am invisible to the enemy. That's just right there. Anyway, and assassinating is back. We can assassinate targets. The only major worry I had for the Assassin's Creed 4 remake, other than the mocap cutscenes being removed and replacing them with the procedural ones, is the tailing sequences. Like, I didn't hate them altogether, but when I first played through the game, they were eyesore. They were eyesore to me. They were bothersome. I got stuck with them for such long periods of time when I was in 6th standard nonetheless. But anyway, I'm really glad they are repackaging the entire thing together to not have you go through the entire desynchronization fiasco. But I hope for one thing, now that I am much older than I used to be compared to when I initially played the game for the first time, I can now do tailing missions without like losing my shit completely. I really hope they're bringing back the 100% synchronization thing that used to be in the previous games. Basically, you will not be 100% synchronized if you kill the target deliberately. Like, reward us with something, like give us Edward costume for getting 100% synchronization for 60-70% of the tailing missions or something. Like many kinds of creative stuff with it to motivate players to do play the game the way it's intended. No assassin is going head first into a mission and killing the target he's supposed to tail. Like, when you are discovered in a tailing missions, have some penalty then that motivates us to do the tailing missions the way it's intended. Do not just have it in a binary fashion where if you're discovered it literally doesn't matter, you just kill the target anyway. So that will motivate players to exploit the system and destroy the integrity of the cult that we know as Assassin. Basically, one of the core pillars, one of the core tenets will be harm. And I don't want that to happen. All hail Assassin Fantasy. You know the human nature. If there is something that you can exploit very easily, we are going to exploit that. Nobody is going through the entire motion of tailing somebody from the rooftops, from going from a crowd to another crowd, then a bush, then a haystack. Nobody is going through that. We are going head first. We are killing the target and getting the message and go about our day. Like a very minor portion of the community is so up in the ass of being assassin that we are fixated on with doing the tailing mission that makes us feel like an assassin, a pseudo assassin. Newer character models, man, like the way Kid looks, the way Captain Edward looks, the way Adewale looks, the way Blackbeard looks, man. I'm so hyped to see this scene. Man, the scene with the merchant and Blackbeard when he basically lights all his whatever things he has attached with his hat, he lights up all those things, then he puts that on, then he basically intimidates the merchant to lose his shit. The Caribbean looks fucking magnificent. I still cannot believe that we are here, we are getting this with all its glory. And for the naval combat, last but not the least, the naval aspects of the game, the only thing that makes this one of the, if not the best Assassin's Creed game there ever was. For me, for a lot of us. The core naval aspect, the core realization of the pirate fantasy. Improved weather system, basically the dynamic weather system that was developed for Shadows. I don't know if they're bringing back the seasonal system, but at least the weather system is coming back. That's not something to scoff at, because not many developers are capable of doing like dynamic weather system the way Anvil Engine could do for Shadows. Like that is going to benefit quite a lot in elevating the way naval combat looks. Like, can you fucking imagine having a cyclone that looks like a fucking cyclone? I'm not saying that the original game lagged in visual fidelity in the cyclones, all the things that make the sea worth seeing. The original game had very good water simulation. Original game had very good storm simulation. Cyclones are going to look better than ever. The large tides, the huge waves that used to crash into you during the naval combat, you will have to be more careful of that. You will have to have minimal damage. You had to point your ship towards the sail. You have to cut through the huge tide that was going to crush the ship into pieces. Like that is going to look better than ever. I'm looking forward to it. Rain textures can be toned down. The initial when the initial gameplay came out during the rain, like it was starting to look like the definitive edition. I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to expand on the fact. In sections it looks really nice, but in other sections it looks like the definitive edition. I'm not too hopeful with the newer characters that are coming in the Black Flag. Like this character, she has no distinctive qualities that make her feel distinguishably different from any other generic character from any other game. She has very generic features. All three of the newer characters that are coming to the game has very generic features. Their attire is very generic. The body build they have is very generic. They look like lackeys, glorified fucking lackeys that have given a purpose. Like have them have some accessories unique to them, have them have an attire unique to them that makes them stand out, make them has a visibly distinctive silhouette. It's basics of character creation, man. I don't know. In that aspect, the additions aspects, I think we are going back. I really hope the newer narrative questions that are being added to the core story, I hope they don't take away from the core tale that's being told with the Black Flag. They should add to the core story rather than taking away time from it. Like, sea shanties were one of the main reasons I 100%ed the game when I first played the game. That was probably one of three Assassin's Creed games that I ever 100%ed. Assassin's Creed 4 I 100%ed, Assassin's Creed 1 I 100%ed, Assassin's Creed 2 I 100%ed. Like, just only three of them, because all three of them are goated, man. What can I say? And this thing needs to be fixed. After the swing from ship to ship and doing the assassination from mid-air, the gravity basically gets turned to 11. Like, suddenly the gravity is like you rapidly drop onto the target. Like your feet seems like the magnet that's attracting the ground towards it. To sum it up, it looks odd and it needs to be fixed. The timing needs to be altered. The in-between animations need to be more smoother, and it looks smoother in the newer gameplays. I am really glad about it. And also the diving sections in the previous games, for the diving sections you had distinctive certain predetermined locations where you could do the dives. I'm really glad we in the big 2026 are not like limited by the amount of places that we can dive by set by the developers. We can dive wherever we please, we can explore the underwater wherever and whenever we please. We can essentially, like in GT5 there were a vast amount of area that could be explored underwater, and they did nothing interesting with it, literally nothing interesting with it. Like in online they did some things interesting with it, but not substantial. Like there were no proper reason to go out of your way to explore the underwater sceneries. Like having some kinds of treasure hunts would motivate you actually, but there were none. Like there were limited packages that you could find. Who's going underwater to get limited packages that give you like 10,000 bucks in GTA money? Who in the right mind will do that? And to end the video, I'm really glad, really happy, really looking forward to the game. Ubisoft, please don't mess this up. And from all the circumstantial evidences that have been showcased to us from the gameplays, seems like we are heading to the right direction, fucking finally. And I will never, I cannot say I will never forgive you for the cancellation of Prince of Persia remake. How can you mess up a remake twice? Like giving Ubisoft India nonetheless the authority to handle one of the most beloved games to ever exist, one of the games that fundamentally changed the way the games would be developed in the later years. Like giving that to Ubisoft India to remake, man, what were you guys thinking? And Montreal, who are at Montreal now, man? Montreal couldn't salvage something out of it. Montreal is supposed to be the top dogs. They are supposed to be the best talent Ubisoft has other than Bordeaux. What are you guys doing? I'm really happy with how the 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania, pseudo-Metroidvania, not exactly pseudo, they are proper Metroidvania, Prince of Persia games turned out. Going back to the roots, it's nice, but when is proper Prince of Persia coming back? Okay, I'm getting sidetracked again. I'm really hyped for the game. I'm really looking forward to the game. It's one of my top 5 most games that I'm looking forward to this year. GTA 6 is up there along with some other bangers. We'll talk about that sometimes. I'm also writing another video talking about pirates. Absolutely love any and everything that's being done with the remake. Love how the combat is being evolved, love how the parkour system is being overhauled and taking elements from the evolved system. Love how the game overall looks. Some cons I have about the art direction, but overall there's not much I can complain. Overall really hyped. Let me know how you guys thought about the showcase, what you guys think about my perspective on the game. See you soon with the One Piece video. Itterashai. Ubisoft, please don't mess this up for once.